Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 5 of Pentacles. This is someone who's right in the middle of change, of an activity. This is somebody trying to do something, okay? So I feel like you're somebody who is, you're engaged in some sort of effort in your life that you're not sure the outcome of, okay? This is the card really of saying everything's up in the air. This is like we're rolling the dice. You know, we haven't rolled, you know, we're shaking the dice. We haven't rolled them yet. Or maybe they're rolling down the craps table right now. And we don't know what numbers are coming up yet. I feel like we could get a 6. We could get success, victory, pleasure, right? And a confirmation of our sort of hypothesis. All the 6s of the tarot, right? Wands, the cups, the swords and discs. Or we can maybe get the 7. Okay? We can maybe get the 7. A blockage, obstacle, some kind of interference. We could get some kind of a loss. Yeah. Some kind of a distraction. Okay? We can get a defeat. So this is somebody who is kind of taking a gamble in a way. Not literally. I don't gamble. It may look like I do, but I don't. Not anyway in the sort of literal way. But it is something that you're taking a chance on. It's something that you've probably prepared for. You've thought it through. You've done the work, and now you're kind of like, now you're putting in the effort. This is the card that says everything's up in the air. Everything's unstable. You're attempting to do something. You want success. You feel like you have it pretty much figured out, but there's always the unknown factor. Let's see where this is going. Let's see what it's all about. We're going to need a little context here, Capricorn. Oh, look at that. You got to ring the bell for that. We'll do both bells. That's the 6 of Pentacles. So you're rolling the dice, and guess what? It comes up with, I don't know, whatever number you want to see when you're playing dice. You get a 6 of Pentacles. Well, this is success. So this is a really strong prediction that what you're doing right now is going to be real nice. Okay? So you rolled the dice are in motion, and it seems as if things are going to come out your way. The result is going to be success, material success after material worry. This is when you're rolling the dice down the craps table and you don't know yet. It's that couple of seconds where you just don't know how the dice are going to land. They land in your favor. That is awesome. Jackpot, right? It really is. There's the 2 of Wands, a 10 of Pentacles, the Lover's card, and the 9 of Pentacles. Oh my goodness. This is major change, especially with that 9 of Pentacles. Because that's telling me that this kind of success is not going to stop. I feel like you're on a roll, you know, like this is going to continue. And the success is you're going to keep going. You're going to keep, I mean, I'm not advocating gambling, but you're going to continue to roll the dice down the table. And it's going to keep coming up a win for you. Okay? And so it seems as if you're taking that win, you're reinvesting it in yourself, in the work, in whatever you're doing. It's kind of like you step up to the plate, you get a base hit. I guess we're playing baseball now. You're getting a base hit. So the next time you come up to the plate, you have that confidence and you say, I'm going to get a base hit. most likely. Okay. You might strike out once in a while, and that's okay. Right now, you're on a roll. Right now, every time you come up to bat, everybody in the outfield is like, uh-oh, because they know that you're going to smack it out of the park, probably. Chances are, This is really awesome. I can't emphasize this enough, how good this is. But you got a 7 of Pentacles, too. This is your general energy, though. And that's going to be important to talk about. We have the High Priestess, and we have the 8 of Wands, and the 3 of Cups. It is a celebration, a perpetual. You have 3, 6, and 9, by the way. Okay, we got to avoid the 8 of Wands, which I think right now is going to be too much deviation. Right now is not the time for you to try to tweak anything. You found something that works. This is the work that you're doing, whatever it is, the technique, the way that you do it, your unique way of doing something. You come up to the plate, you tap your cleats, you twirl the bat, whatever else baseball players do as a ritual. And then you get the base hit or the home run. I really think it's going to be a home run. I think this is a real jackpot. And then you kind of are going to do the same thing next time until it stops working. Then when it stops working, you're going to tweak your ritual a little bit. This is the same way, a gambler who's on a roll at the craps table is going to pick up the dice the same way, shake the dice the same way. Maybe you touch your hat, you take a drink of your seltzer water in the same way. You might brush off your sleeve the same way. It kind of creates a superstitious ritual in a way, yeah. But it's really just to kind of set the universe up as the best you can to repeat that win. Then you roll the dice the same way. Maybe you say the words before you roll them, and once they leave your hand, that's when the universe really kicks in. That's when things sort of it's literally like out of your hands at that point, right? That's part of our 2 of Wands discussion. Anyway, this is extraordinary. Very happy we decided to do a bonus reading for you today. Let's select our mystery card. Bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down over here with Dwight K. Schrute right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Now, who has the vintage record player? Someone's with the vinyl records and the needle that goes down, and it's like the old 45s or something like that, right? What is that something very important? You've had it for a long time, or maybe you just bought it somewhere, but it's Spirit's referencing that old, it's like a vintage record player. Yeah. Anyway, let's look around the room, and we'll see that we have 2 major arcana energies. These are the spiritual archetypes that are active in your life right now. Your commitment, your choice, your dedication, your love. You've married yourself to this work. Okay? And so that it's once you sort of give something this level of commitment, it's kind of like it trains your brain and your mind and your body, your heart and soul, and trains your spirit on that thing. Because now I'm focused on this and nothing else. Okay? Relatively speaking, obviously. But for the moment that you're doing this, it's your entire world. Okay? Like you've married yourself to something, whether this is something at school, at home, at work. Maybe it's something to do with your romantic life. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It's something that's taking place in the physical realm. It's not just an intellectual exercise or something, right? It's something that involves, physical materials, physical movements in some way. But once you've committed yourself to do this, it's kind of like it has to work, And this is that card of choice. Now, we also have a card of intuition or forces unseen by you. The mysterious High Priestess, the mysterious starlight that is influencing the situation. This is out here in the environment. taking cues from your synchronicities, and I think this is also about you kind of doing the same ritual again. Not in a superstitious way, but to sort of to activate your body, heart, and soul in the same way to produce the same result. It's like you're priming yourself psychologically for the same outcome. And so you'll sip your seltzer water the same way, you'll brush off the same sleeve, you'll tip your hat, you'll say the same words, you'll shake the dice the same way, you roll them with the same hand, and then you're going to, at that point, it's up to the universe now. And you're going to hope for the same outcome, okay? And I think you're on a roll. I think it's going to keep working that way. Don't tweak it. Don't change anything. Don't do anything different than the way you've been doing it, and you'll see that things are going to continue to make progress until they don't. It's not going to be a never-ending win, okay? So be aware of that, which I think you are aware of that. But in addition to the major arcana, we have fire and fire. We got good water. We don't have any air cards, which is a blessing to not have the air. We have earth, 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 dominated by the earth energy today. Because this is a physical or financial thing. It's either something to do with your physical fitness or your health or your well-being. It's something to do with your finances, your career, your work, your something that's happening in the material world, the manifested plane of existence, right, is where this is really operating, okay? And the Six of Cups is success. Plain and simple, material success. Something in the material world that the dice, I feel like, have left your hand. That's what that's what the Five of Pentacles really is, where you've put in all the effort that you can do. You're sitting there, you're doing the best that you can, the way you know how to do it. And the rest is kind of up to luck, chance, the universe, spirit, God, goddess, deity, universal mind, universal consciousness, all of that stuff. Okay? Kind of, you're doing the very best you can, and the rest is just like a wing and a prayer, you know? And I think that's kind of the way it is. But this Six of Cups is that success. It is a big flashing light, a big win. It's a big jackpot. And I really feel like you're going to claim this, and you're going to, now there's kind of a good news and bad news about the air cards, because there's no air cards here, right? The good news is you're not thinking, you're not worrying, you're not doubting, you're not questioning, you're not disbelieving, you're trusting, you're doing your very best work, and you're leaving the rest over to spirit, right? So that's perfect, okay? The kind of bad news about the air cards is that we're perhaps in need of a little bit of reflection, okay? Because what we kind of want to do is figure out why this works. Maybe now's not the time. Maybe later we'll get the air. Maybe the mystery card. Maybe, the next reading for you will be the air, more air energy. Because it's kind of like you want to take this win, you want to keep rolling it forward, right? You want to keep the ball rolling, you're going to be on a roll, all that stuff. You want to keep it going perpetually as long as you can, keep gaining, keep reinvesting, keep doing the same thing, getting the same win, okay? I think eventually that energy will wind down a little bit, and then you'll have time to reflect, okay, what was it about this that worked so well? So we kind of want a little bit of that reflection. I'm almost hoping for a Queen of Swords for our mystery card, So we can look at this afterwards, and hopefully maybe it'll just keep working forever, and you won't have to ever reflect on why. You're like, I don't know how it works or why. I just know what it does, and I'm going to keep doing it. It's like any number of gadgets that we have. I don't like my phone. I don't know how my phone works, but I know it works, and I'm just going to keep using it until it stops working. That's kind of what's going on here, okay? The Six of Pentacles is that sort of jackpot. It is that, that success that maybe you feel like this is mostly spirit. This is mostly, I don't know, I just shook the dice and threw them down, and then money came back to me. Money came my way after it. I don't know how that works. Down beneath the surface, though, you have your Two of Wands. This is a card of control. This is the card that says, I know what to do, and I'm doing it. This is the card of taking ownership and taking responsibility, taking agency. This is the 90% perspiration, right? 10% luck, you know. This is telling me that you realize that this is you doing it. This is everything that you can control versus everything else in the universe that you just have to accept. So this card really is a lesson in surrender, you know, because it's saying I can only do so much, but once something leaves my hand, and that to me is the five-fingered hand of the Five of Pentacles, it's kind of the open hand where something has gone from us, or where sometimes we're asking for something back. The fives of the tarot to me always represent the five-fingered hand and what we're doing with that hand, you know, whether we're releasing something, or whether we're kind of asking for something back, you know, like, okay, let me have my, you know, can I have the book back that you borrowed, right? I've lost so many books over the years letting people borrow them, and then I forget. I lost a lot of my Carlos Castaneda books because I loaned them out to so many people over the years, and now I don't remember who has them. But that's the Five of Pentacles. I think in this case, it's that you have done everything that you could. This was you preparing. This is you feeling as if you're in control of something. When you're shaking the dice, you're in control. Once they leave your hand, then you're not in control anymore. Then it's just kind of, we got to see how the pieces fall, see how things sort of come together. This is when the dice are like literally that second or two that they're tumbling down the table. Okay, and so the Two of Wands is everything that comes before, everything you can control until the very moment where it's out of your hands, like literally and figuratively, okay? Now in the background, you have your Ten of Pentacles, you have your best life, you have your sense of wealth, you have kind of like your expectation, your ideal outcome of what you're hoping to achieve, okay? And this is sort of behind you, I think, as an inner image for you. Okay, this is your ideal wealth, the picture of your best life. It's not just pentacles, it's not just coins, not just money. Okay, this is filled with meaning. The pentacles contain all of the other cards. You got your Ten of Cups in here. You got your Ten of Swords in here. You got your Ten of Wands in here. Everything, you know, everything is in here. This is in some ways representing all of your resources as they have been up until this point where the dice leave your hand. Everything of which you're capable, every resource you have on every plane, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, creatively. This is all your time, effort, energy, and or money. And it's like you put everything into this. You've committed all of every dimension of yourself to this work. This is also your ideal outcome. This is also the picture of your best life. I used to get this card and I used to tell people, get out a sheet of paper, get out a pencil, draw a picture of your best life. What's there? Your pets, your plants, your people, what else is there? It's not just a stack of money. You're not just going to draw dollar signs. Maybe you will, I don't know. Everybody's different. That's the point. Is that this card is not the same for everybody. If you're bad at drawing, like me, just make a list. I'm a little bit better at handwriting than I am drawing. So make a top 10 list of what your best life would contain, right? Pets, plants, people, at the top of the list, right? Well, then what? You still got more. This card also is reminding us that there is no limitation, okay? Because the 10 is really not a finite number. The tens of the tarot in any suit remind us that it's open-ended. Just because we're a base 10 culture, we say 7, 8, 9, 10, and then a whole bunch. Like I tell my daughter, she's 5, I say, if you can count to 10, you can count to infinity if you wanted to. It'd take a long time, but you could do it. It's open-ended. It's just the tarot's way of saying an infinite number of something. Yeah, there is no cap on how much you can achieve right now. And so with that, we have to understand that our picture of our best life will very likely change as time goes on. Yeah. And we'll have to either get some more sheets of paper, tape them together, get a bigger sheet of paper. We'd have to maybe erase and draw something different. That's why I say do it in pencil, because it'll change over time. Okay? So don't let this be a static image. That's the point here. Don't just let it be, I'm expecting one exact detailed outcome, and if I don't get that, then it's a fail. Okay? Recognize the wins as they're coming in and capitalize on them. Take advantage of them. Roll them forward or reinvest them, whatever kind of phrasing you want to use. Because there's no end. So see how far this can go before things start to dwindle. And when things start to dwindle a little bit, or the wins aren't coming like they were, then you can reflect and say, okay, what did I learn from that winning streak? I think you're on a winning streak, basically, yeah. Up at the top here, we have that Lover's card, which is the choice. And that's another factor that's contributing to your success, is your ability to choose this, heck yes, 1,000%. You're choosing this work. I don't know why we're going with the gambling analogy today, but maybe it's the jacket. You're not going to try to be an expert at every game on the casino floor. You're picking one particular game. I guess it's craps, and you're gonna learn everything you can about it. You're gonna be the absolute. You're gonna marry yourself to craps. There's this movie about poker, a poker player. I can't remember the name of the movie. It was pretty good though. Anyway. Recent, last few years. And actually, where I used to live in Merced, California, there was a restaurant. I can't remember the name of the restaurant. It was a sushi restaurant or a hibachi Japanese restaurant. And it was opened by some guy that won the poker tournament in one of the big popular poker tournament. He ended up opening a sushi restaurant. It was called like High Eights or 8 Ball, or something like that. Anyway, where was I? Yes, the Lover's card. The commitment to the craft, the choice to say heck yes 1,000% to something. And the Lover's card's not about romance. I mean, it could be, right? It could be that. It could be anything. It could be baseball. It could be craps. It could be your music. It could be your job, your career, your vocation. Your art could be your pets. It could be your spiritual practice, right? Committing to it 1,000% means that other things are going to have to be sacrificed, right? Because you can't give 1,000% of yourself to craps, but then also to blackjack, okay? I'm very bad at both of those games. The couple of times I've tried to play. I don't even understand craps, to be honest with you. That commitment, right, has sort of primed your spirit, trained your body and your soul and your spirit to live and breathe that thing. It's sort of, you've told your unconscious, that's what we're going to get good at. That's what we're going to succeed at. You don't have your energy scattered in a million directions like our Eight of Wands would warn us. So these two cards are very different today. These positions of the Dove and Serpent spread are very intimately connected. So are these two positions. Okay? Because this is everything you can control. But once the dice leave your hands, it's a wing and a prayer, right? These two cards as well, because you're married yourself to one thing. This and of course, when I say that, I don't mean like literally you're just dreaming of craps all day, all night. That's the only thing that matters in your life. No, but I think that's your priority. That's your central focus. And there's a lot of peripheral things that go into supporting this. Okay, so it may be your main commitment is, I guess, craps. I don't like the analogy, but that's it. But there are a lot of other things that you need to do in life. You have to eat right, you have to exercise, you have to have healthy relationships, you got to get good sleep, you got to read some books about other things, right? And those kind of all support this. Everything is tied into your true will, even indirectly. So how does playing with your dog, support your true will of playing craps? I don't know, that's for you to figure out, right? But it could just be relaxation. It could be like a release of tension. It could just be kind of inspirational. It could be a very, it could sort of be like an emotional bond that kind of encourages you to go and try your very best when you're at the craps table, you know, that sort of thing. But we need to connect all those peripheral things to that true will. This is you marrying yourself to your true will, right? It doesn't mean that's the only thing in life that you ever do, right? But it's that priority. It's the top level executive kind of life's mission, and everything else is supporting that. Yeah, so Lover's card. And that is the heck yes, which is very different than this, because the Eight of Wands shows your energy being scattered into too many things, too many priorities. Okay? The Nine of Pentacles in the future position is perpetual gain. It's progress. I'm seeing that I'm moving the ball down the field. That we're having not just one success, but a repeating success. Yeah. This is gain. This is progress and success on the physical, financial, mental, emotional, and spiritual creative planes. Whatever you're doing right now is not just a physical thing. It's not just, okay, I got money in my hand. It's something that's supporting your spirit and your creative work. It's something that is supporting your heart and your mind. Okay? What this card teaches us is that everything's connected. Work we do on the spiritual plane filters through the heart and the mind and is reflected, I guess, in the physical world. Things we do in the physical world are filtered up through our heart and our mind, and they have a reality. They are reflected in the spiritual world, as above, so below. Okay? They all meet in the middle, that human heart and mind. Yeah. And, well, I'm very happy we have our Three of Cups here at the end. But this is a card to me of continued success. It's you're living a successful life, and you need to keep this going for as long as possible. Keep doing the same thing that you've been doing. Keep getting the wins. You're on a winning streak. Don't change a thing. Okay? Let's talk about the path of the serpent. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Your general energy is a Seven of Pentacles. It may be that you sometimes struggle with believing in yourself. Okay? Sometimes as your general energy is Seven of Pentacles, it's a card of failure. And maybe this is a card of like you were expecting to lose. That you rolled the dice and you were kind of expecting it not to go so well. Now you were hoping for the best. You did everything you could. You put in all the hard work. You have the devotion. You surrendered to the universe a little bit. But maybe like you're still like whoa, it worked. We're still kind of surprised, because I think something in the back of your mind was expecting it not to go your way, but it did. And I feel like you're going to be like wide-eyed, like what? It worked, really? Okay, believe it quick, and repeat it quick. Don't be so shocked by your win. Don't be so shocked by your jackpot that you fail to collect your chips. That you got to claim it right away. Claim it right away, even if you're going to be like, wait a minute, me? It worked? Keep moving forward like, oh yeah, of course it worked. Have that kind of confidence, okay? Knowing, of course, that, wow, I'm really surprised. Or knowing that, okay, this was luck. I worked hard, but this was like a miracle, But keep the energy moving as soon as possible. Don't be so dumbfounded, yeah? Because we sort of expected, we expected a failure, so we're kind of surprised by the win. So keep it going. And the High Priestess here in the environment, you're going to continue to do all the work over here, but there's going to always be that guiding light in your life, okay? And so with the High Priest, this is starlight, okay? Starlight is illuminating the path forward for you. And what do I say about the star card? Well, it enters us, shows us our blockages, and once we start working on those a little bit, it starts to show us the path forward. That light is transmitted from us. We're radiating our light, generally, but that light also starts to show us our yellow brick road to our Emerald City, our path over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house, right? Shows us the shows us the dark, scary forest that we have to go through to get to the paradise, the Garden of Eden, to our best life, to get to, Big Rock Candy Mountain, yeah. And that light coming from your true self, coming from the universe, spirit, God, goddess, deity, the light, the actual divine light, is the high priestess. Of course, this is a full moon energy. What's the full moon but, the largest reflection of starlight that we can, except for seeing the sun directly, right? But the lunar energy is the reflected starlight, okay? This is a card of a waxing moon, a widening of the psychic aperture. It's an increase of intuition. It's an opening of the third eye. So it's basically saying that your perception is taking in so many more details. Think of an aperture that widens. It's taking in more light, right? It's able to pick up so many more details than if our focus is narrow. If we're in a dark, scary forest and our sympathetic nervous system is activated and we've got the adrenaline, we've got the fight, flight, or freeze, kind of energy, then we got the tunnel vision. Okay, then our focus really narrows. Okay, this is kind of almost like a relaxation. Yeah, where you're taking in so many details of everything around you. Because this card's in your environment, right? So part of your win here is for you to stay as relaxed and basically as chill as possible, not anxious. So here's another contrast with our Eight of Wands showing why we don't want this card. We want to stay as relaxed as possible because then we're sort of taking in more data. We're taking in more things, we're not even trying to do it. It's just coming in, information's coming in. And so we're able to sense the subtle cues of the universe. We're able to see the little signals. You're able to see like the way the dice are kind of moving in midair, or the tell of the other players, or whatever it is. You're able to perceive things that you wouldn't ordinarily perceive. Okay? When we're in an agitated state, we can only see a narrow focus right in front of us. Everything else is fuzzy. But this is the card of really that kind of that dilation, where our perception opens up and we take in everything around us. Okay, and we're able, and that's activating the intuition, because your consciousness is picking up on all those subtle cues that you're consciously not even really aware of, right? We're not focused on those necessarily, but we're taking in all that data. It's kind of the way that you're driving in the car, and you might say, that car's going to get into an accident. And then guess what? 2 seconds later, they get into an accident. Why? Because in your receptive state, you're perceiving certain cues from that car. Maybe part of you in your peripheral vision, you noticed the driver was distracted, or you saw another car speeding forward and you saw this person, something about them, you feel like they were just about to change lanes. And so something kind of just beneath the threshold of consciousness put all that information together while you're like listening to the radio and just driving along. And he said, they're going to get into an accident. There's going to be an accident. Because you were perceiving all that other stuff. You didn't even know it. And so that is what is happening right now for you. And that's why we need to keep things going, keep doing exactly what you're doing, because you're in such a receptive state. You're picking up all the subtle cues, all the synchronicities, all the signs and symbols from the universe are coming. And you're receptive. This is an attitude of receptivity. You are welcoming the starlight. You're welcoming that divine energy and that starlight into your life to show you whatever it is that you need to see that's going to help this thing keep going. Okay? This is also kind of like a spiritual practice, in a way. This is also like I do what I can, I do my very best effort, and the rest, I have to just kind of say a prayer and hope for the best. Okay? The Eight of Wands in this position, this is really what we don't want. This is anxiety. This is where... this is kind of agitation. This might be fear and anxiety. This might be a scattered attention, or too many things that we're consciously trying to do at once. Kind of, we focus on this and we just sort of melt into it, This is scattered. This is maybe trying to master too many things, trying to commit to too many things. We can't have 8 different wills. You can't go left and right at the same time. This is someone who's being drawn and quartered, right? This is someone who's pulled in so many different directions that there is no, it's going to be a dispersion. It's chaos. Okay? It's chaos. So as much as we need this kind of focus so that we can open up and be receptive to everything, this is closing us off in a way because we would be so anxious and agitated. All right? So this is the energy you don't want. And this is in a position of our fear, worry, concern. This is us being anxious over being anxious. Let's just let this go. Let's just kind of let it ride. And let's trust in the universe right now. Let's trust in ourselves and trust in the divine. And this will keep going, and we'll try to. It's kind of like once you get on a lucky streak, you just want to. I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to trust it. I'm going to let it flow. Okay? When you're in the zone, that's not when you start thinking, wow, how am I doing this? Because as soon as you have that kind of self-consciousness, you fall. It's like Wile E. Coyote running across the ravine. They get pretty far, right? They get pretty far running in midair until they stop and they think, wow, I'm in midair, running around in midair. How am I doing this? I'm defying the laws of physics. And then plummets, big cloud of smoke, and a trip to the Acme Hospital. So just keep going, you know. Don't think about it yet. That's why there are no swords cards here. The 3 of Cups at the end, this is celebration. Plain and simple, this is a good time. This is a good feeling. This is abundance, okay? This is really like, this is celebrating. There's no other way around it. And this is beautiful. And this, I think this is perfect. This is also gratitude, appreciation. Don't just take it, oh, I got the money, I got the money. No, you're gonna spread the love around. You're gonna show your gratitude and appreciation. You're gonna be humble, but you deserve to feel good, okay? Let's look at our mystery card. This might be the Star. It might be, I don't know, it might be some swords cards. It might be a Queen of Swords, but I kind of feel like I just want this winning streak to keep going, you know? If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. The Strength card, or the Lust card. This, I think, is good because this is controlled effort. This is a fixed fire energy. It's basically saying control yourself. Don't get wild. Don't get out of hand. Don't start betting the farm or anything. Keep this in check. Celebrate, feel good, but be appreciative. Celebrate the win, but don't start getting a big ego. This is a card of discipline. This is the card of harnessing this energy, containing it. It's like there's all this wonderful, abundant energy flowing in every direction. What you're doing is you're channeling it and you're riding that creative wave. Yeah. Because this is energy that's been harnessed, not suppressed, not just allowed to roam free and do whatever it wants and just be just kind of scatter itself around. This is you focusing your energy, harnessing your power. And it's that surge of creative energy and passion. Okay? So this is, in a way, it's momentum. Yeah. And I think the main thing about this card now is to not let our ego get too big, not to let our energies get scattered around too much. We don't want to just let the lion loose. No, we don't want to domesticate the lion. We want to try to harness its power in some way. And harness it by keeping it focused on this, but not too focused. You know, keeping it contained and directed toward this, but in a way that is going to maximize the potential here. Okay, maximizing the potential. Celebrating too much, not going to be good. That's not going to be. There's a sweet spot, you know. It's kind of the cruise control where you can get the best gas mileage, as fast as you possibly can for as long as you can. And that's the sweet spot. Anyway, what a wonderful spread you have today. We're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, we'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Capricorn, usually Tuesdays and Fridays. This is your Saturday bonus reading. I think it's a pretty good one. Be sure to watch both of your other readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you are watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.